Di sini nih, Lab Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris. Let's go! Gimana? Menarik bukan prodi kita? For more information, you can find it here. Yuk, join English Department! Welcome international people. Yuk kita jalan-jalan ke prodi bahasa Inggris. Eits, tunggu dulu. Kenapa sih mereka memilih English Department UNPGD?
Sudah pasti dengan dosen-dosennya yang
Tentu saja karena fasilitasnya lengkap.
Karena di sini mahasiswa berkesempatan untuk menempuh beasiswa.
Kita lagi ada ISR nih. Lab Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris. Di lab ini kita melatih skill listening kita. Gimana? Menarik bukan prodi kita? For more information, you can find it here. Yuk, join English Department!
Halo. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. How are you today?
Good morning.
Fine,
Well,
thanks.
I am Unit Susanti. I would like to welcome you to our third program for our webinar series. The session today about how to integrate technology in English language teaching. Well, first of all, honorable to the first Vice Rector, Dr. Agus Muci Santosa, and then the head of English department, Nusantara Pedagogy University, Mrs. Hoiria MPD. Happy lecturers, happy English teachers, and all of the audience that coming to this program. Well, without any more delay, I would like to give opportunity to the first Vice Rector, Dr. Agus Muji Santoso, to give a welcome speech. Dr. Agus. Okay. While waiting for him to come up to the stage, I would like to tell you about some of the regulations that you have to follow. Okay, so make sure that your microphone is in mute positions. And then there's your attendance list will be uploaded 20 minutes before the end of this webinar. Then, if you have a question, please type your questions in the chat. And then, make sure that you fill the attendance list before 12 p.m. because we have planned to close the attendance list at 12 p.m. Okay. Oh, are you ready? The first Vice Rector? Pak Mahendra, it's time for the first Vice Rector to give the welcoming speech. Hello? Hello, can you hear my voice? Oh. Who fired first or the first Vice Rector first? The speech, the welcoming speech.
Oke, Bu Yuni.
Yes.
Ya, cek dengar suara saya Bapak Ibu.
Oh, I see. Yes.
Yes, dengar.
Yes, Bu.
Yeah. Okay. While we are waiting for Pak Agus. Yeah. Okay, now I'm first. Yeah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Morning.
Morning.
Morning, ma'am.
Okay, yeah. Are you okay now?
Oh, sure.
Yes, we
Yeah.
are great.
Yeah, okay.
How are you, Kak Brody?
Yeah, I'm fine too. Okay, it's a great pleasure to welcome you to join Stadium General hosted by English Language Education Department, University of Nusantara PGRI Kediri. First of all, my deep appreciation goes to Bapak Vice Rector Dr. Agus Muji Santoso, the speaker today, Dr. Yepi Sedia Purwananti, the moderator, Dr. Yuni Susanti, all lecturers of English Language Education Department, and also I respect all of the participants who have attended in this Stadium Generals today. Okay, in this occasion, let's say many thanks to God for His grace and bless that we can gather in this event in a good health. I'm happy to see you, although virtually because of this condition. Now it is impossible for us to meet face to face. Next, I'd like to report based on the registration data, today's participants come from university students, teachers, lecturers from many provinces, even from other countries like Brazil, India, and Peru. Hopefully, this activity or this event will be running successfully. All right, Bapak Ibu, today we have Stadium General with the theme Integrating Technology in Language Learning. And the purpose of this event is to support the academic activities, to facilitate the students in improving their competence. For us, as a teachers or as lecturers, we can update information and we can update our knowledge, and also we can share our experiences. Hopefully, we can improve our teaching skills in digital era or our students caught in millennial era. And also, because of today, we can see everything is influenced by technology. So we realize or not, we have to welcome it in our everyday life and our teaching as well. Nah, well, everybody, I think that's all for me. I can't speak more because of the time is limited. Thank you for your great attention. Enjoy the activity. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
wabarakatuh.
Thank you for Mrs. Koiria as the head of English department of Nusantara PGR Kediri University. Okay, let's welcoming Dr. Agus Muji Santoso as the first vice rector of University of Nusantara PGR Kediri, and also please open this webinar officially. Dr. Agus Muji Santoso.
Yes. Can you hear my voice, Bu Yuni?
Yes, okay, so clear.
Sure,
Okay.
Pak, clear.
Okay. Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Yang saya hormati Ibu Dekan Fakultas Keguruan dan Ilmu Pendidikan, Ibu Dr. Mumun Nurmilawati, MPD. Yang saya hormati Ibu narasumber, Bapak Ibu narasumber pada webinar pagi hari ini. Yang saya hormati Ibu Kaprodi, Ibu Khairiyah, MPD. Yang saya hormati pula Ibu moderator, Ibu Dr. Yuni Susanti, dan Bapak Ibu peserta webinar Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Universitas Nusantara PGRI Kediri yang sangat luar biasa. Puji syukur pada Tuhan Yang Maha Esa, pada pagi hari ini Tuhan masih memberikan kesempatan dan kekuatan kepada kita semua, sehingga pada pagi yang sangat luar biasa ini kita masih bisa bersua secara daring, secara online untuk mengikuti seminar daring Universitas Nusantara PGRI Kediri, tepatnya program studi pendidikan bahasa Inggris. Saya sangat senang sekali dan menyambut gembira Bapak Ibu atas terselenggaranya seminar daring pada pagi hari ini, dan ini merupakan sebuah kesempatan yang sangat luar biasa. This is a good opportunity to us, khususnya dalam rangka seperti apa sih bentuk integrasi teknologi informasi itu untuk menunjang pembelajaran. Saya lihat di sini listening atau writing ya tadi? Listening ya, listen. Iya, intinya dalam salah satu untuk menunjang salah satu skill dalam berbahasa Inggris. Saya yakin narasumber yang nanti akan menyampaikan materinya akan lebih banyak mengupas tentang best practices, ya, praktik-praktik terbaik yang sangat kita perlukan sehingga pembelajaran bahasa, khususnya bahasa Inggris ini, walaupun daring tapi tetap nyaman, kemudian siswa-siswa kita tetap suka dan benar-benar menikmati pembelajaran bahasa Inggris. Jadi seperti melahap makanan sehari-hari. Sekali lagi kami menyampaikan ucapan terima kasih dan penghargaan yang setinggi-tingginya pada Bapak Ibu narasumber yang telah meluangkan waktu, kemudian program studi pendidikan bahasa Inggris UMP Kediri yang telah memfasilitasi, yang telah menyelenggarakan kegiatan ini, juga kepada tim Takfos yang telah mempersiapkan mulai dari hal teknis sampai administrasi. Ada Bapak Ibu di balik layar ini yang perannya juga tidak kalah penting. Dengan mengucap Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, webinar pada pagi hari ini yang diselenggarakan oleh program studi pendidikan bahasa Inggris dengan secara resmi dinyatakan dibuka dan siap untuk dimulai. Terima kasih, mohon maaf apabila ada hal yang kurang berkenan. Selamat berseminar daring, semoga mendapatkan keberuntungan, keberkahan dari Tuhan Yang Maha Esa. Terima kasih, selamat pagi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Sorry, I can speak in bahasa because I am not confident to speak in English. Bu Yuni and Bu Fair.
It's okay, Pak Agus.
Maybe one more time when I give maybe preface on the others, maybe I try to speak English because without preparation today.
Yeah, we are learning together, Pak Agus.
Yeah. Okay. See you. Sorry, I cannot join in this webinar, in this seminar. So, having a nice seminar today.
Yeah. Thank you.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Assalamualaikum.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much for your attention, everybody. Okay, thank you for Dr. Agus Budi Santoso for opening this webinar. Okay, so let's come to our main activity today. What we are talking about today is about the utilizing of the technology in English language teaching. As we know that in this pandemic era, we as a lecturer, as a teacher, we have to face the problem that we have to adapt with the technology quickly because we have to provide the students with the online and then also utilizing the technology in our teaching learning process. Well, we have Dr. Yepi Setiaporwa Nanti, MPD. We invite her as the keynotes of this webinar. She is a professional lecturer that has specialized in technology. I can share with you about her professional training. Well, Bu Yepi has ever upload a workshop on making internet and computer-based instructional media. So I'm sure she will talk a lot about the utilizing of internet to make the instructional media. And then the second is she had ever taken a workshop on e-learning for higher education. So if you are a senior high school teacher, so it's time for you to learn about e-learning for higher education. So I invite Ms. Yevi to talk about it later also. And then it is the most interesting one. She had ever had a computer and education in Philippines. And then the last, in 2019, she has Microsoft certified education training. So I'm sure that she is the one who is suitable to talk about how to integrate technology in ELT. Okay, so before I welcome her to start her presentation, let me tell you once more about the order of this webinar. Okay, so after the presentation for about 30 minutes, you have time to ask the question. So please write your questions to the Zoom group chat. And then don't forget to fill in the attendance list before 12 p.m. Okay? Then you also have to, we open the direct questions if you want to ask the question directly on the question and answer sessions. Well, without any more ado, let us welcoming Dr. Yepi Setia Purwananti, MPD. Dr. Yepi?
Yes, Ma'am Yuni, thank you.
Okay. Start your presentation for 30 minutes.
Okay, thank you. But before I start it, I would like to say thank you very much for Ma'am Hoiria, Ma'am Hoir, to give me chance to share the experience, to share the knowledge with you all here, all the participants. Yeah, today I'm going to talk about how we integrate technology in language learning. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that for now, technology is not something new because every time, everywhere, you use your gadget, you use your application that dealing with the technology itself. And in teaching and learning activity, now we cannot be spared from technology itself. Yeah, before I go to the core of our discussion today, I would like to see here. We talk about technology, so it means that we talk about the industrial revolution. For the first revolution, when it happened in 1784, we can see that the focus in the first revolution is on the mechanizations. Water power, steam power, all about the mechanics. And in the second revolution, that is in 1870, we have it different. The focus is on mass production. In what? In assembly line and also in electricity. And then in 1970, it's quite a long time ago, actually we are in the era of computers, and automation. So actually, the computer started in 1970. So what about now? For the fourth revolution? In the fourth revolution, we are talking about cyber and physical system. That's why the orientation of the Industrial Revolution for now, or we call it as Industrial Revolution 4.0, is how we use the system or physical system in our daily activities. So ladies and gentlemen, after we know the characteristic of the Industrial Revolution, now we need to know about the characteristic of education in the era 4.0. Let's have a flashback for a while. I just remember when I was in elementary school or maybe in junior high school, studying means that I have to sit on a chair, listening to the teacher, and etc. But it's quite different for now. Because of what? Because the education can be done anytime, anywhere, and using any device. For having it anytime. Let's say for today, for now, we know that we are in the pandemic, and then sometimes we have problem in managing our time because we have to do the online teaching. That's why maybe we start preparing all the material anytime, anywhere. Maybe Mem Hoir, Mem Yuni, you start preparing the material while you are cooking maybe, and etc. And then we can use any device. The any device here means that we can use computer, we can use mobile phone, or maybe we can use anything else. And another characteristic is personalized learning. This is quite, I can say that this is not easy. Why? Because we have to know the characteristic of the learners to make the learning personalized. That's why in having or designing the learning, we should know what kind of students that we have before we decide what kind of method or media that we will apply. And then we have what we call as flexible delivery method. Flexible here means that we have to meet the students or maybe the learners' characteristics. So maybe when I have to teach for students in junior high school with a student in senior high school and students in university or higher education level, even though I have the same material to be delivered, but I have to choose method that suit with the students' characteristic. So that's why we have what we call as flexible delivery methods. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, talking about the technology, we cannot avoid the definition, the history of educational technology itself. There are two. The first one is the old definition. This is about 1970 and more. This is about the theory and practice of design, development, utilization, management, and evaluation of processes and resources for learning. So you can see here that we do not have any technology inside, but the meaning of technology is on how we design, develop, utilize, manage, and evaluate. But if we take a look at the new definition, this is in 2008, the educational technology means the study and ethical practice of facilitating learning and improving performance by creating, using, and managing appropriate technological processes and resources. So here we have to emphasize on the technological processes and resources. If we look at the year, this is in 2008. It's about 12 years ago, but maybe for us, we are not quite familiar with the what technological processes and resources at that time in 2008, because 2008 is the first time for me to teach in the university level, and I still remember that the way in teaching is still conventional. The process of teaching is still conventional, but now we have to go along with the rapid development of technology, and we have to adapt it in the education. And we can see here the technological processes and resources. So how can we integrate the technology in the process of teaching and learning, and then how we manage the technology in providing the resources for the students in learning. Those are the 2 points that we have to explore more and more. Yeah, and ladies and gentlemen, in learnings, there are some factors that we have to know. The first one is learning environment. Second is learning resource. The third, learning process. And then learning pedagogy, learning tool, learning space, and the last one is learning agent. So what are they? We studied for the first one, learning environment. For the learning environment, this is quite familiar for now, what we call as virtual school. Maybe some of us, or maybe all of us, for now, we have to have what we call as virtual school, or maybe virtual learning or something like that. So we have it, the learning environment, if we have it virtual school, so we have to design our lesson, our material to meet the characteristic of virtual school. And then virtual reality, or maybe you call it as VR. For the millennial, they are quite familiar with the VR, because VR is not only used for education, but it is also used for pleasure. And the next, we have it, smart classroom. Smart classroom, yeah, maybe in our country, only some, that's school, or maybe only some institutions that already provide smart classroom. For us who live in a small country, for me, for example, in Tulungagung, maybe it's quite hard to provide the smart classroom for now, because we need a very sophisticated equipment. And then in smart classroom, the role of the teacher is quite different with the role of the teacher in conventional classroom. And next, we have what we call as cyber campus. Ma'am Hoyer, is UNP 10 any program to have the cyber campus letter? Maybe we still need time.
Yeah.
Oh, ma'am, will be the cyber campus letter UNP?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so it means that in the cyber campus, yeah, a cyber campus means that we can say that almost all the activity we use the system by supporting the cyber or maybe the internet, the intranet, and etc. It means we still need more preparation to build the cyber campus. Next, learning resource. This is what we have to prepare for our students. What kind of resources? First is electronic material. For now, we can use it. The electronic material, maybe we can use what we call as e-book or electronic book. For the e-book or the electronic book, we can create it ourselves. If you want to know how to make the book, the electronic book, you can use what you call as Flipbook. This is an application that you can download and you can use it to make the electronic book. So you have it not in form of PDF, but you can use it like you use it opening the book one by one, like this one. This is what we call as Flipbook or ebook. And then the second, we have it augmented reality. The augmented reality, so we use device to make something that's not real become real. That's because of the technology. So how can we provide the students with the augmented reality? Of course, we need to learn more about the technology itself. And then the student can also learn from smart board. From the word smart, it means that the board can meet what the students need. So the students can be more and more creative in using the smart board because they can explore more, depend on their curiosity, depend on their interest. And then the next, we have what we call a smart table. If we take a look at the picture, the students can be very, very, what is that? Enjoyable. They very interested to the material that is provided in smart table. Just imagine that all the schools in Indonesia provided with those learning resources. I believe that the quality of the students, the quality, not only the students, but also the teachers will be much more better. But again and again, it needs cost, it needs time, and etc. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, then we have it. This is quite familiar for now for learning process. Maybe some of us, we tend to use what we call as synchronous interaction. So we meet directly, we learn directly, or maybe we try to have it by combining the face-to-face and online by using blended learning. For the synchronous interaction, you can have it, or maybe you use the asynchronous. And then telepresence. So they have it, not all we meet in the same time, we can interact. For now, for example, we have it a kind of teleconference. So we just meet virtually, but we can share many things. And then next, we have collaborative learning. It means that we try to collaborate. This time for us not to compete, but more in collaborate. So we try to collaborate and then try to solve a problem. And this is the process of collaborative learning. Next, we have learning pedagogy. Authentic learning. The authentic learning here means that we try to find something that is authentic in learning. For example, here, the authentic learning supporting English language learners. How can the language but we have it in form of authentic learning. Can we have it? Yes. The answer is yes. How? We will learn it later. How can we design the authentic learning? And then the second is e-learning. For e-learning, you know that many things that we can use, many things that we can have in e-learning. For example, you can use the media, and then you can use the platform, a kind of learning management system in supporting the e-learning. Next, we have the independent learning, means that the students try to learn by finding his or her interest. And then games. I believe that not only the children who love games, but also maybe the teenagers or even me, for example, myself. Sometimes I just do kind of games to refresh my mind. It means that games will give a different stimulus to the students. And then learning tool. Learning tool here means that there are some tools that we can use to support the teaching and learning. Smart device. For now, almost all the students, they have mobile phone. But for laptop, maybe not all. This is one of the problems that I meet when I give the online learning to my students during the pandemic. When the student says, "Ma'am, I do not have my laptop, so can I have my work in mobile phone?" After that, I try to design my materials, my activities in teaching and learning only using smartphone or smart device, because I consider that not all the students, they have already had laptop or computer. That's why smart device, even though this is only a smartphone, but it can be a good tool for us in learning. And then the second is special need technology. Special need technology here is used for special needs student also. It means that the technology does not provide for the students in general, but also the special needs students. And mobile learning. As I told you before, mobile learning is something that quite familiar for us to use. And then learning gadget, almost the same, but in learning gadget, maybe we can use a kind of a tab or maybe another device. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we still have what we call as learning space. It means that where we can have the teaching and learning activity. First, we can have web-based learning. And I believe that every university or higher education or maybe school, they have already their own platform for the web-based learning, or commonly they have it for the online learning. Not only web-based learning, but some that you can use it by using social media or network. Now, maybe teachers in elementary or maybe junior high school still use a kind of WhatsApp application, and then another maybe they use a kind of Instagram and etc. as the learning space. And then you have it, the learning management system, Moodle, for example, or Edmodo, or maybe Google Classroom. It's a very simple one if you use Google Classroom, and it's quite familiar. Why? Because we just try to manage our class in Google Classroom. All the facilities, all the features already provided by Google. And then we have it what we call as open education. Or maybe in Indonesia, we call it as a kind of universitas terbuka who try to have or to adapt the open education itself, but maybe in the practice still need to improve the quality of the open education itself. Why? Because in open education, they really use what they call as all teaching and learning, just have it by virtually. And the last one, what we call as learning agent. Now, some of us, or maybe the teachers and the lecturers, suddenly being the virtual teacher. Why? Because we have to provide the material for the students, and then we make the kind of video we share to the students, and the student can learn only by having the video. And yeah, it's not easy. I can say that this is not easy, maybe because we are not confident when we have a kind of video, when we look at ourselves, oh, when we make a mistake and then we have to repeat it again to make the video again and etc. It's quite different when we have to meet the students face to face. And then we have it machine learning, hologram, and also robotics. If we'll, let's say Japan, they have already developed the robotics and the machine learning in education. So they have the robots to help the students in studying. For us, maybe we still need more time to have what we call as robotics as the agent of learning. And after knowing that, we need to know how to integrate the technology in language learning. Because sometimes people will say that when we use the technology, let's say we make the media, we share to the students, and the class is already over, but it's not. Why? Because we need the interaction with the students. So how to integrate? The first one is design the technology selection method. What kind of technology that we will use? Okay, from the diagram, you can see that we have it. Representational technologies, it means that we have what we call as provision material. So we provide the material to the students. And then not only provide the material, but we have to have what we call as interaction with materials. So after we provide the material, how can the material be learned by the students? We have to make sure that the students already understood the material. And then the second is what we call as interaction with facilitator. The facilitator here is the teacher, because the role of the teacher for now is not only the one who delivers the material, but more we have to be the facilitator. And then we have also interaction between students. So not only teacher to the student, but also student with the students. How can we design? How can we choose what kind of method that can cover the student interaction also? And the other one is the interaction. Not only that point, but we have to think about the mechanics of the subject, learner and facilitator implications, and the last one, cost. Cost, why we have to consider about the cost? Because you know that we need kind of, what is that? Supporting, not only the students, supporting from the parents to provide the data, for example, or to have another thing. So cost should be taken into consideration. Okay, and how can we have it? So we have to make a kind of table like learning activities model. So we have it, provision of material, what kind of book that we will use, the interaction with the material, interaction with the facilitator, interaction between learners, and the interaction. And we have to decide what kind of technology that we use. In the provision of material, for example, you can have a kind of screencast-o-matic. This is one of the application that's quite easy for me in having the video, in delivering the material to the student as a replacement of your whiteboard. So you can make the material and then you can share to your students by using screencast-o-matic. And then interaction within the material, interaction with the facilitator, what kind of interaction? Do you want to have only demonstration of the software, or maybe individual consultation, or maybe group consultation? You have to decide it. And then the interaction between learners, will it be possible to design, let's say, writing tasks, but using group? Will it be possible? If it is possible, what kind of method that we will use in interaction between learners? Okay, and then we have what we call as major elements of media selection models. There are 5 elements that we have to think. The first one is the content. You should know the content of the material that you have. Let's say you want to teach speaking. You know the characteristic of the speaking. And then if you have it for speaking, what kind of media that you will use. And second, learners' characteristics. If you have to teach for the students of higher education or university, in the level of the first year, and you have to teach for the students in the 4th years, in the 7th or 8th semester, you have to know the characteristics of the learners, because maybe they have different kind of spirit, different of orientation, and etc. And then instructional strategies. How can you design your material and environment? And the last one is the management. Okay, so now how to have successful integration of technology? First, the technology plan must be closely aligned with the curriculum standard. So again and again, as a teacher, we have the curriculum standard, or the curriculum as our focus first. After the curriculum, then we will break it down to our material. So first of all, make sure that the technology plan closely align with the curriculum. It means the role of the school or the institution should be considered. And second, teachers should be creative in preparing technology integrated material. Teachers, for now, being a teachers in digital era, we have to be creative. This is a must. And then support and technical assistance should be provided. Support and technical assistance means that in having the technology integration, you have to make sure that the technology, the technical assistance already well provided. And then teachers should be aware of their roles. The roles here that it's quite different. When we have to teach in the classroom without the integration of technology, and we have to teach using the technology. So our role more in facilitating. And then teacher-students commitment in the use of technology in improving the quality of learning through technology. Why we need what we call as teacher-students commitment? Because when the teacher already provided all the material, but the students, maybe they have problem concerning the use of the technology, so the quality of the learning, it cannot be guaranteed. So again and again, we need the support not only for teacher, students, the school, the parents maybe. Okay, now let's have the example. We can use the application in teaching language skill. Bapak Ibu, ladies and gentlemen, maybe we can have a kind of this one, for example, Cartoon Story Maker. This is a very simple application. You can download it and you can use the application freely. As long as you have the Flash adapt in your computer, it can be used. Okay, in teaching writing, what can I do with the screencast Augmented Cartoon Story Maker? So I can provide the picture, for example, and then I can ask the students to describe the picture. This is only one example. Or maybe we can put the picture here, we take it from the internet, and then you ask the students to give the comment or the argument about the picture. So it's quite easy and you can share to your students easily also. Second, using Quizlet for teaching grammar. Have you ever used Quizlet? Maybe this is an application that you can have, and there are some, what is that? Material or quiz that already provided by the Quizlet company itself. And the next we have Kahoot. Kahoot is mobile friendly also. So this is a kind of quiz that you can have it directly only to, what's that? To make your students get more spirit to study. So you can play a simple quiz. Let's see, talking about the vocabulary. You have the picture and then you ask the student to choose what picture is it or something like that. This is for the level of elementary school or maybe junior high school. For the level of university, maybe you can use Kahoot for using in teaching vocabulary by having a kind of finding the synonym or finding the antonym, or maybe how to use the word in a sentence and etc. And you can see the result of your students directly. And then using screencast Augmented in teaching speaking. Sometimes we have problem. How can I teach speaking by using the technology? We can use it, screencast Augmented. So you can give the material to the student by using screencast Augmented. You can give the example, let's say a speech or maybe newsreader by using screencast Augmented, and then you share to your students and you ask the students to make a kind of screencast Augmented itself. So you can see your students' project here. And the conclusion is that the technology for learning a specific teaching learning patterns that serve reliably as template for achieving demonstrably effective learning. So technology is used to have effective learning, but not technology used to replace the teacher. But technology and humanism should go along. It means that we use the technology, but we have to know our role in teaching learning process. So we are not replaced by the technology, but we use technology to make the learning effective. Thank you. Thank you, Bu Yuni.
Yes. Give applause to Dr. Yepi presentations. So, we can learn more from Dr. Yepi. Well, to remind you about the material that has just been presented by Dr. Yepi, I can take the point that as the theoretical base, we can use technology, we can utilize technology and some aspect, for example, about the resources, and then also about the process, and then the pedagogy, and then also learning tool. Okay, and it is the most interesting one, the example of the use of some application and also some platform in order to be utilized in ELT. I'm interested in Quizlet because I'm teaching grammar. Maybe the audience, you are interested in other platform or other kind of technology used in English teaching. So I welcome you to get more detail about this one by asking the questions. Okay, Dr. Yepi, we come to the question and answer sessions.
Okay, Ma'am Yuni.
Yes, the first question from the chat room. It is from, there is no name here, but I can see that this question related. We know that technology, something that is common in our life, right? Nowadays.
Yes.
So why do we still need to integrate technology in ELT? Oke, so audience, this question, pertanyaan ini hubungannya dengan teknologi kan sudah biasa di kehidupan kita. Kenapa sih kita masih harus mengintegrasikan padahal itu sudah biasa gitu. Misalkan yes. Okay. So this one is the first question.
Yes, okay, Ma'am Yuni. Thank you for the questions. Yeah, why we should integrate the technology in language learning.
Yes.
Because you know that the meaning of technology is very wide. Makna dari teknologi ini kan sangat luas sekali gitu. Ini pakai bahasa Indonesia, pakai bahasa Inggris, Ma'am Yuni? Atau mix saja?
Mix, because I receive some feedback from the participants. So if we talk 100% in English, it's quite some of the participants quite difficult to get the idea. So it's better to use mix.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, why? Kenapa kita masih harus mengintegrasikan teknologi? Sekali lagi, makna dari teknologi itu sangat luas sekali. Nah, teknologi yang kita maksudkan adalah teknologi dalam pendidikan, or educational technology. The educational technology means that we have to know what technology suits our needs. Jadi mana teknologi yang bisa memenuhi atau sesuai dengan kebutuhan pendidikan. Nah, ketika kita mau mengintegrasikan, itu ada yang namanya, kalau sekarang ini sangat familiar sekali sebenarnya, namanya adalah TPACK.
TPACK, yes.
Yeah, PACK or TPACK. Okay, the TPACK here means that how can we integrate technology? Ada teknologi, ada pedagogi, ada knowledge, itu yang kita kemas menjadi satu di dalam pembelajaran. technological, pedagogical knowledge. Nah, ini yang harus kita kemas. Intinya bahwa kita nggak bisa sekedar teknologi itu kan sudah familiar. Misalkan HP. HP ini memang sudah keseharian kita pakai HP, laptop. Keseharian kita menggunakan laptop atau komputer. Tetapi bagaimana HP, laptop ini bisa bermanfaat dalam pembelajaran. Itulah poin kita, bagaimana mengintegrasikan, bagaimana memanfaatkan. Itu di situ di dalamnya ada proses integrating the technology in language learning. Misalkan kita menelpon saja, berarti kita menggunakan teknologi. Tapi kalau kita membuat satu materi di dalam mobile phone, kemudian kita share, maka itu sudah berubah. Itu namanya adalah integrasi teknologi di dalam pembelajaran. Begitu kira-kira Mem Yuni.
Thank you for the excellent answer for the first question. Okay, next come to the second question. Okay, it is from Jeremiah Victor. Okay, it is the problem related to the problem when we have virtual class, and it is often happen during the teaching learning process. Okay, sometimes during online classes, students didn't pay much attention to the material. So, and we as the teacher are limited to make an action. So how to make sure that our student, especially here as the senior high school student, understand whether our material during online class? So the main point of this question is bagaimana membuat siswa itu memahami materi, sedangkan mereka itu kurang perhatian ketika kelasnya online.
Yeah.
Okay. Something that is technical.
Yeah, very technical, Mem Yuni.
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
This is the common problem. Kalau saya bilang ini yang paling umum kita temui. Kenapa saya bilang paling umum? Karena memang kontrol yang paling lemah untuk online learning atau virtual learning adalah bagaimana kita bisa tahu partisipasi siswa, partisipasi mahasiswa juga. Itu memang ya bisa dikatakan bahwa kontrol kita sangat lemah di situ. Apakah ada caranya? Bisa. Panjenengan bisa cek sewaktu-waktu, misalkan ketika kelas online, kemudian panjenengan cek kehadiran atau keaktifan siswa, jangan gunakan Mentimeter. Pernah menggunakan Mentimeter?
Mentimeter.
Ya,
Yes.
itu salah satu aplikasi yang bisa jenengan gunakan. Contohnya Mentimeter, itu jenengan gunakan untuk cek kehadiran atau keaktifan siswa. Berikan satu pertanyaan sederhana saja, kemudian siswa menjawab. Nah, di situ bisa kita lihat, oh siswa ini mengikuti, siswa ini tidak mengikuti, gitu. Itu hal sederhana yang bisa kita gunakan. Tetapi kalau yang kita tanyakan adalah pemahaman siswa, bagaimana kita bisa tahu bahwa siswa itu paham, the student can understand well our material, ya we can use evaluation of course. Jadi setiap akhir pembelajaran online, akhiri dengan evaluasi. Jadi berikan evaluasi, walaupun itu sederhana. Contohnya pakai Quizlet tadi, Mem Yuni. Quizlet itu memang kita didesain untuk bisa digunakan untuk evaluasi. Atau kalau tidak, jenengan bisa menggunakan Flickrs. Itu memang alat untuk evaluasi. Jadi setiap pembelajaran online akhiri dengan evaluasi. Walaupun evaluasi itu sangat sederhana. Walaupun hanya dalam bentuk pertanyaan yes or no atau true or false, itu boleh saja. Yang penting ada evaluasinya.
Okay.
Kurang lebih begitu.
Thank you for the answer, Dr. Yepi. So the main point is evaluation. To check the students whether they focus or not, and then whether they understand the material or not.
Yeah.
Okay, we continue to the next question because I see that the participants are interested to your presentation. There are many questions, so I have to select the question, so there is no double question or the same.
All right.
So we can have more understanding about the material. Okay, this one from Miss Diani Nurhajati. Okay, the question is, could you give a practical example based on your own experience? Maybe there are some questions. Okay, the first question from Diani is, can you give me one practical example?
All right. Ma'am Yuni, if I have to give a practical example, maybe I can start from my experience in teaching speaking.
That's great. Okay, interesting.
Okay. When I have to teach speaking in this situation, in this pandemic era, and then I just think about how can I know the students' performance if I have it virtually. If I have to use synchronous, or I use Zoom, for example, like today, I have to think about the students' problem. Ya, kalau teman-teman mahasiswa punya kuota, kalau enggak, untuk Zoom, pasti yang dibutuhkan tidak sedikit. Nah, gimana caranya? So I use the combination. I use Google Classroom, for example, as the LMS, or the Learning Management System-nya. Saya pakainya yang paling sederhana adalah Google Classroom. Nah, dari Google Classroom, saya provide material dulu. For example, I have to teach about public speaking. Saya ambil materinya adalah news reading. In Google Classroom, I have already provided the example of a good news reading. Teorinya seperti apa, saya sampaikan di situ. Walaupun itu hanya link ke YouTube, it's okay. Kemudian saya berikan aturannya bagaimana, saya berikan contohnya. So I have my video when I have news reading. This is a kind of the students' motivation. Gitu. Kalau mahasiswa hanya dikasih linknya video, dia pasti akan, alah, mem saya ya bisa mencari gini aja, gitu. Tapi akan beda kalau kita memberikan contoh, gitu. Jadi saya menggunakan media yaitu screencast-o-matic.
I see.
Okay. Jadi satu, saya berikan artikel, mahasiswa dari artikel itu membuat video, kemudian saya memberikan contoh dengan menggunakan screencast-o-matic, saya upload di Google Classroom, saya berikan sebagai materi, kemudian berikutnya, karena kita dibatasi waktu, sekali lagi evaluasi kita kan sangat, sangat sulit untuk pembelajaran online ini, berarti saya pun memperlakukan yang sama. Jadi saya berikan limit waktunya berapa, mahasiswa membuat video dengan screencast, dan mereka submit. Nah, itu memang kita tidak bisa lihat apakah mahasiswa itu membaca teks, atau mahasiswa itu hafalan, itu nggak akan bisa terlihat, tetapi kita tetap bisa melihat dari mimik atau gesture-nya. Dari gesturnya mahasiswa itu masih bisa kita lakukan penilaian. Jadi kalau speaking, penilaiannya kan tidak hanya satu faktor, Mem Yuni. Tidak hanya misalkan the fluency-nya, tidak hanya itu, tapi kan juga pada gesture dan lain sebagainya. Nah, itu yang bisa kita lakukan. Nah, ada yang tanya lagi, Mem saya tidak punya laptop, saya pakai HP apa bisa? Silahkan. Jadi kita ada yang namanya adalah flexible delivery method tadi. Jadi kita memang harus lebih fleksibel. Selama materi itu bisa dipelajari oleh siswa, mahasiswa, kemudian kita juga bisa melakukan assessment. Itu saya rasa proses pembelajaran bisa tetap berlangsung dengan baik. Jadi itu yang bisa saya lakukan. Kalau misalkan ada yang tanya lagi, best practice-nya apa? Pakai Kahoot gitu, Mem Yuni pernah pakai Kahoot?
Yes. Vocabulary.
Ya, tidak hanya untuk vocabulary. Misalkan kita mau tahu pengetahuan awal mahasiswa atau siswa. Background knowledge. Sudah, kita siapkan aja pertanyaan pakai Kahoot. Kahoot itu pakai mobile phone dan hanya butuh waktu hitungannya adalah menit atau detik gitu ya. Karena satu soal 10 detik, kalau kita punya 10 soal berarti hanya butuh waktu 100 detik. berarti hanya 1, sekian menit itu untuk pembuka. Gitu. Jadi intinya bahwa bagaimana kreativitas kita saja. Itu mungkin pertanyaan yang pertama.
Excellent answer, because without stating the complete question from Budiani, you have answered all of the point of the question.
Oh, really?
Yes. The question is you have to, because the problem that Budiani's face is about the student have limited credit.
Oh, yes.
So you have answer her question related to the limited credit. So we have to integrate the application. For example, you said the Zoom with Google Classroom, so the student can access the material for speaking without spending much credit.
Yeah.
Yes, great, excellent. Learn many things from you, Dr. Yeti.
Sharing ya, Mbak Yuni ya.
So I also invite the next question from Dwi. Okay. As the pandemic isn't over yet, so how can the technology be appropriately applied in the area that is difficult to access the internet? So it is, the problem is not the limited credit. Now the next problem is the limited access to the internet. For example, in 3T area.
Yeah.
Okay. So related to the economic impact, not all of the student has a better smartphone. So means and limited sources and also in limited internet area. Okay. You have some idea about this one?
Again and again, this is quite technical actually, Ma'am Yuni. We talk about the coverage of the internet, of the internet access. Maybe we just can give the recommendation. Kita hanya bisa kasihnya rekomendasi ya, Ma'am ya.
Yes, of course. Right.
Well, because you know that this is about prasarana. It's not only sarana, but it covers also the prasarana itself. Kalau yang namanya keterbatasan pada akses internet, automatically ini pengaruhnya sangat luar biasa, karena memang teknologi kalau kita gunakan untuk jarak jauh berarti harus ada internet atau ada line-nya, ya, di online gitu. Tidak bisa kalau tidak menggunakan line atau jaringannya. Nah, kalau sudah problemnya seperti ini, nanti bagaimana pembelajarannya? Nah, itu yang terjadi saat ini, misalkan di daerah-daerah yang ya bisa dikatakan di daerah pegunungan, itu juga akan ada problem semacam itu, kemudian daerah-daerah yang lain. Nah, solusinya lagi dan lagi, ini adalah kebijakan pendidikan. Kalau saya katakan kebijakan pendidikan, itu berarti sudah mengarah kepada bagaimana pemerintah menanggapi hal ini. Misalkan saat ini sudah ada mulai, saya tidak tahu kalau di tempat yang lain, tapi seperti di tempat saya, khususnya di Tulungagung, itu pemerintah kabupaten itu menamakannya adalah homeschooling. Tapi tapi menurut saya konsepnya bukan sepenuhnya homeschooling. Kalau kita lihat pada konsep homeschooling, itu masih tetap menggunakan yang namanya teknologi secara bisa dikatakan more than 60 or 70% itu adalah teknologi gitu. Nah, tetapi di sini yang dimaksudkan homeschooling adalah gurunya yang datang ke tempat muridnya gitu. Jadi untuk menghindari kerumunan, itu gurunya membuat kelompok kecil. Jadi hanya dengan kelompok kecil, kemudian gurunya yang harus, ya kalau saya bilang visit ke rumahnya anak-anak itu tadi. Tapi konsep yang dibawa di Kabupaten Tulungagung itu adalah namanya homeschooling. Ya saya iakan mawon gitu aja lah. saya iya gitu aja iya. Intinya bahwa konsep itu dibawa, walaupun mungkin ketika kita menerapkan bahwa pengertian dari homeschooling tidak seperti itu, tetapi itu dijadikan alternatif bagi yang ada kendala terkait dengan jaringan, terkait juga dengan area. Itu juga menggunakan jadikan alternatif. Jadi sekali lagi, kalau masalah internet coverage itu sudah kebijakan pemerintah. Yang bisa kita lakukan, bagaimana tetap menggunakan teknologi, ya kita mungkin bisa mendesain teknologinya, tetapi harus ada harus ada keberadaan kita, the existence of us as the teacher itu tetap dibutuhkan. Caranya ya mungkin tadi membuat kelompok kecil tadi.
Okay, so we are not replaced by the technology, but the technology facilitate us.
Facilitate.
Yes. So, because you said in Tulungagung, I forget to tell about where are you from. Excited. Too excited to open the programs. I forget.
So okay, ma'am.
For the information, Dr. Yepi, she was graduated from State University of Malang in instructional technology, and then she also studies in Brawijaya University and STKI PPG Tulungagung, and also in Unisma. Okay, that's for the background. Oh, I see. So from your teaching experience, you also ever taught in junior high school teacher, right?
Yes.
I see. So,
quite long, ma'am. Because I love students, I love children. That's why I keep teaching for the junior high school and senior high school.
I see. And then you also the consultant for senior high school teacher, English, especially English consultant. Okay.
Yeah.
Related to your presentation today. Okay. So there is some no, I can find what is it? Oh, if you want to directly ask question to Dr. Yepi, I open the opportunity for the participant to raise your hand. Okay, so I can directly give you a chance to ask the question to Dr. Yepi. Okay, while waiting, we still have question. Oh, many questions. So, we still have enough time. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, dari Nurul Hidayati, this one. Apakah penggunaan teknologi berarti kita akan meninggalkan buku? Lalu bagaimana kita bisa mengimbangi penggunaan buku dan teknologi? So it is a different question. So I choose this question because we can talk about this one about using the book.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, Ma'am Yuni. Talking about the use of book. Actually, even though we use the technology, we still use book. Kita tetap pakai yang namanya buku, tapi wujudnya saja yang berbeda. Kalau mungkin dulu buku identik dengan yang dicetak, yang di bawah, itu yang namanya buku, tetapi sekarang buku itu adalah dalam bentuk e-book. Buku itu sudah tidak lagi dalam bentuk cetak. Kenapa? Karena yang mengikuti perkembangan teknologinya itu. Nah, kita sekali lagi tidak meninggalkan buku. Kalau saya katakan meninggalkan buku, nanti nggak ada lagi loh penulis atau mungkin researchers kemudian yang membuat dari hasil penelitian kemudian dijadikan sebuah buku, nanti sudah nggak ada lagi dong. Gitu. Intinya bahwa kita tidak meninggalkan buku. Kita tetap menggunakan buku. Hanya saja wujud dari buku ini yang berbeda. Karena sekarang zamannya virtual, maka bukunya juga virtual. Jadi buku yang sekarang ini kita gunakan itu adalah yang namanya e-book. Nah, panjenengan bisa Misalkan panjenengan sudah menulis, kemudian mau menjadikan itu sebagai buku elektronik, seperti yang saya jelaskan tadi, itu ada aplikasi yang namanya Flipbook Maker.
Sorry,
Flipbook Maker.
I see. Flipbook
Ya,
Maker. Okay.
ya. Jadi misalkan data dalam bentuk PDF, itu kemudian kita mau jadikan itu sebagai buku, bisa kita desain di situ. Covernya jadinya seperti apa, kemudian halamannya bagaimana, itu bisa. Banyak sekali aplikasi yang bisa kita gunakan untuk membuat buku elektronik. Jadi intinya bahwa buku tidak kita tinggalkan. Buku tetap ada, buku tetap sebagai sumber pengetahuan, tetapi in different form, gitu aja.
Different form of book.
Iya, jadi sekarang zamannya media, kalau dulu kita sekolah bawaannya tasnya berat, bukunya banyak, sekarang tidak. Sekolah hanya dengan bawa satu HP, satu buku aja bisa gitu. Satu laptop selesai gitu. Kenapa? Karena memang semua pengetahuan buku dan semuanya sudah tersimpan di dalam media atau gadget yang kita miliki. Begitu mungkin, Ma'am Yuni?
Yes, thank you very much. So I have one direct question from Rona In. Rona In, are you ready to ask?
Waalaikumsalam.
Oke, saya mau bertanya, di sebagian sekolah-sekolah negeri, khususnya di Kediri bagian pinggiran, itu masih banyak terdapat guru-guru yang masih kurang mahir dalam teknologi, Mem. Jadi, bagaimana kok siswa ini bisa berkembang dalam teknologi yang sudah diterapkan di sekolah-sekolah negeri ataupun swasta di daerah kota atau daerah kota besar lainnya, sedangkan gurunya sendiri itu belum mahir dalam teknologi tersebut, malah kayak pemberian materi dalam pembelajaran daring itu tidak maksimal, dan tidak setiap hari diberikan. Saya dan teman-teman saya kan lagi mengupayakan untuk memaksimalkan pembelajaran daring dari rumah untuk anak-anak daerah desa, khususnya anak-anak yang belum mampu, yang tidak mampu dan tidak memiliki fasilitas untuk mengikuti pembelajaran daring. Nah, karena jumlah kami terbatas juga, Mem, dan sarana dan prasaranya juga terbatas, dan gurunya pun mohon maaf seperti itu masih kurang maksimal memahaminya. Menurut Mem sendiri, upaya apa yang bisa dilakukan? Terima kasih, Mem.
Iya. Terima kasih. Mem Yuni, langsung saya atau menjenengan dulu?
No. Have you got the point for the question?
Yes, already,
yes,
Mem Yuni. Yeah,
yes,
but
thank you.
Before I answer the question, I would like to appreciate. Saya sangat kagum karena sudah ada. Ini masih mahasiswa ya, Mem Yuni ya? Masih mahasiswa atau sudah lulus?
Saya mahasiswanya Mem Yuni, Mem Khoir.
Oh, excellent gitu ya. Intinya bahwa ketika seperti ini, jiwa gurunya itu sudah tergugah gitu loh, Mem. Jiwa pendidiknya itu sudah sangat tergugah itu. Makanya I do appreciate gitu. Saya benar-benar menghargai sekali, ini luar biasa. Mem Khoir, Mem Yuni berarti sudah luar biasa mendidik mahasiswanya ini ya. Gitu. Ya intinya bahwa sudah ada semangat yang luar biasa dari teman-teman mahasiswa untuk peduli, kalau saya bilang peduli dengan keadaan yang saat ini terjadi di negara kita gitu. Nah, tadi pertanyaannya gimana, Mem, kalau seperti itu? Jawaban saya sederhana. Itu memang tantangan. Ketika kita menjadi guru di masa sekarang, sementara kita mungkin gurunya adalah, ya mohon maaf, mungkin generasinya mungkin bisa dikatakan sebelum generasi Y.
Generasi now.
Iya, sebelum generasi Y. Padahal sekarang ini sudah generasi Z, bahkan lebih gitu yang menjadi muridnya gitu. Intinya bahwa guru yang merupakan generasi sebelum Y tadi harus menghadapi siswa dengan generasi Z ini. Nah, tantangannya ada di sini. Intinya bahwa guru itu memang harus memiliki kemampuan adaptasi yang luar biasa. Itu makanya keterampilan guru itu Salah satunya kan ada di situ. Nah, gimana Mem kalau sudah seperti ini? Kalau sudah seperti ini, peran siapa yang sangat dibutuhkan? Kalau menurut saya adalah peran dari dinas terkait. Dinas terkaitnya gimana, Mem? Automatically butuh yang namanya koordinasi. Nah, misalkan UNP sebagai lembaga yang mencetak guru dengan Dinas Pendidikan Kabupaten Kediri, berarti bisa menindaklanjuti dengan melakukan kerjasama. Atau bisa dikatakan bahwa support sistemnya ada. Nah, nanti gimana caranya? Ya, teman-teman mahasiswa seperti Mbak Roin ya tadi ya? Mbak Roin ya? Mbak Rona itu bisa memiliki best practice sekalian. Nah, terus gurunya gimana, Mem? Apa gurunya dibiarkan begitu saja? Tidak. Dan yang paling penting kita pahami adalah peningkatan sumber daya manusia, qualified of the teachers, itu tidak bisa instan. Itu harus kita sadari gitu. Intinya itu butuh waktu. Sementara kondisi pandemi ini kan tidak mungkin gitu. Dalam waktu singkat kita harus meningkatkan kualitas guru yang dulunya ya mohon maaf mungkin tidak melek dengan teknologi, sekarang harus melek dengan teknologi hanya dalam waktu yang sangat singkat. Itu tidak mungkin. Jadi peran yang saat ini kita butuhkan adalah mungkin peran dari dinas-dinas terkait. Dinas terkait yang dimaksudkan adalah pemerintah melalui Dinas Pendidikan, mungkin UNP sebagai institusi yang menaungi, yang mencetak guru, itu juga bisa menjadi support system di sini. Jadi, Mbak Rona, saya benar-benar appreciate, I do appreciate, gitu ya, lanjutkan, dan minta dukungan dari Bu Khoir dan teman-teman ya, gitu. Jadi intinya bahwa nanti akan ada satu apa ya relation gitu, ada benar-benar ada hubungan dari masing-masing yang tujuannya finalnya ya sama, yaitu meningkatkan kecerdasan dan juga kualitas pendidikan Indonesia, gitu. Kurang lebih seperti itu, Mem Yuni.
Yes, thank you very much. So the support system is needed to overcome the problem related to the gaptek siswa. Oh, gaptek guru ya. Also,
don't say gaptek dong, Mem Yuni.
I'm the one. No. I'm the one who is really gaptek. So learn many things from you. So I think it is interesting topic to be dig and further. For example, how if we make a workshop? I'm thinking about this one about best practices related to the utilizing of this technology. For example, you have told about Quizlet, about screencast, and then also talking about Playbook. So we can select which technology or which application really needed now for the teacher, especially. Oh, Bu Khoir proposed for the
next agenda ya, Mem Yuni ya.
Yeah, of course. And this one, because we still have more questions, but we have limited time. We still have 5 minutes to continue to in a question and answer sessions. So I still invite for the participant, if you want to ask the question directly, please wave your hand so I can recognize whether you want to ask the question directly or you can write in the chat. So while waiting, okay, I choose this one. Bu Yepi, workshop screencast and flipbook. Oh, I see. Oh, no. For the next, for it is related to the technology. Please, I invite all of the participants to participate on the workshop screencast and flipbook on the 8th of August. Related to our webinar series. So don't miss it, the participant. So related to this webinar, we are going to have a workshop on a screencast and flipbook. Okay.
Quick respon ya, Mem ya.
Yeah. Quick response from English department. Okay. Now, this is okay. The question. Okay, from Julie Ponjowiono. It is from YouTube Live.
Okay.
Okay. What infrastructure is needed for learning? What infrastructure is needed for learning, especially this one related to the use of technology and PLC.
Okay, thank you. If we talk about the infrastructure, it will be, what is that? It will be varied, I mean. Why I can say that it will be varied? Because the ability of the institution or the school to provide the infrastructure is varied. Jadi ya, kalau saya katakan yang kebutuhan infrastruktur itu akan sangat beragam. Beragamnya di mana? Beragamnya pastinya bahwa sekolah A, institusi A, itu bisa menyediakan infrastruktur seperti ini. Kemudian institusi B mungkin infrastrukturnya belum bisa memenuhi yang seharusnya. Nah, jadi sebagai guru, itu seperti yang saya sampaikan tadi, bahwa kita harus memperhatikan. Memperhatikan apa? Ya, termasuk salah satunya adalah infrastrukturnya. Jadi tidak hanya konten, tidak hanya karakteristik of the students, tidak hanya lagi pada manajemennya, dan juga yang harus dipertimbangkan adalah the support system-nya. Support system yang di sini yang dimaksudkan adalah bagaimana technical assistance-nya. Nah, let's see, saya harus ngajar di SMP. SMP yang di kelas adanya hanya LCD, mungkin. Nah, kalau saya harus mengajar dengan LCD saja, sementara saya mengajar, let's say, listening, apakah mungkin gitu ketika itu adalah face to face atau di conventional class gitu. Jadinya saya harus meyakinkan bahwa support system saya yang satunya ada, yaitu pengeras suara, karena nggak mungkin saya hanya menggunakan audio dari laptop saja. Nah, jadi ketika kita sudah tahu, oh ya, infrastrukturnya ada seperti ini, berarti teknologi apa yang bisa kita gunakan, itu akan kita sesuaikan. Jadi kalau ditanya, apa saja yang dibutuhkan, ya itu akan sangat bermacam sekali. It will be varied. Gitu. Misalkan di UNP itu semua kelas sudah ada speakernya, sudah ada LCD-nya lengkap. Nah, berarti ya, I can use, let's see, menggunakan video, or maybe I can use a kind of role play, dan etc. Itu bisa dikondisikan tergantung pada infrastruktur yang ada. Jadi sekali lagi, bukan infrastrukturnya apa, kemudian kita membuat teknologinya harus infrastrukturnya menyesuaikan, tidak, tetapi ketika kita mengintegrasikan teknologi, kita harus melihat infrastruktur yang ada juga. Jadi harus diambil di dalam pertimbangan kita. That's the point.
Okay. So the point is, how can we utilize the facilities that we have in order to integrate the technology? So that's fabulous answer. Next, oh, I see this one. We still have one. Mrs. Titi really want to ask the question directly to you. Miss Titi.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Okay, thank you. So proud with Miss Yepi, Miss Yepi.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for all your material about talking about all applications. I think all of them are useful. But I just want to know your
where are you from? Sorry, I interrupt you.
Okay. I come from Blitar. I teach in SMP
Blitar.
to Kanigoro. I'm a teacher.
Kanigoro.
Yeah. Okay. let me continue my question.
Yes,
I
please.
just want to know your opinion. You know that there are so many struggles, so many obstacles for, especially for parents, for students, talking about uh, internet that is used. Yeah, we need much money too. So I just want to ask your solution. Maybe you have give us a little bit solution in choosing application. Which one of the application that is needs only a few money to spend to join in pandemic times. Okay, I think that's it. My question. Thank you.
Okay. Have you got the point of her questions, Dr. Yepi?
Will you repeat, Ma'am Yuni? Because I have problem in my connection for a
Yes.
moment. Yeah.
Okay. So basically, Mrs. Titi asks a question related to the limited restriction in the use of internet. So how can we use the restricted problem about the internet so we can still what is it? The teaching learning process can run well in this pandemic era.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you for the question, Mrs. Titi. You know that if we choose the application, or maybe we choose the technology that we use in the online learning, especially in this pandemic era, have to think about the the credits that we need. For example, if I use Zoom for this one, for example, if I have unstable internet connection, it will be problem. Why? Because maybe we will have kind of pause or something like that. But if you have a problem with this, maybe you can use one system. The LMS kind of Moodle, and then you have also Google Classroom. The internet connection that you need is only in opening, downloading, uploading. So it means that the internet connection, when it is not stable, maybe it will not be a problem for the students. Why? Because they can download the material first, they can do the assignment first, they do it without the internet connection, and then after finish it, they can upload it using the internet connection. So we do not need a lot for the internet connection. It's quite different when we have to use the synchronous system like this one, like using Zoom. Jadi situ. Jadi intinya bahwa kita pilih saja. Let's say internetnya memang tidak stabil, jangan pakai yang sinkronus, jangan pakai yang langsung seperti ini. Tapi kita pakainya adalah yang learning management system. Kita pakai platform. Gitu. Kita pakai learning management system, berarti di situ hanya prosesnya adalah mahasiswa mendownload, atau mahasiswa mungkin di situ ada video, mereka melihat video, kemudian baru setelah itu mereka mengerjakan, mereka mengumpulkan tugas lain dengan cara upload, dan data yang dibutuhkan juga tidak besar. Itu bedanya. So it can be one of the alternative if you have the problem in connection, maybe unstable connection, so avoid using the synchronous system. But you can use the asynchronous using LMS. Itu yang bisa saya berikan. Thank you.
Okay. So in order to overcome the problem for the internet connection, so it's better for us to choose that one is LMS. Right? Okay. So, I think you can continue up to the afternoon. No. Okay. So, it looks like that we have covered all of the questions, even though I still receive one or two questions okay in the chat. So I think I will forward it to you. Maybe.
Yeah, okay,
Because of
ma'am.
the limited time, we have time up to 11, right? So we still have 10 minutes. And I see that the dean of our faculty really want to say something. Okay, so I give opportunity to Bu Mumun. Bu Mumun. Bu Mumun.
Terima kasih Bu Yuni.
Ya, Bu Mumun.
Bu
Oke.
Mumun, gimana kabarnya Bu
Halo.
Mumun? Aduh, ngapunten. Tadi mohon maaf sih, tadi ada kendala di internet, jadi sudah masuk tapi tiba-tiba hilang gitu. Terus habis itu saya coba 2 kali masuk kok tetap nggak bisa. Akhirnya ini tadi detik-detik terakhir akhirnya bisa masuk kembali. Jadi saya sudah WA Bu Koir. Alhamdulillah sudah bisa Bun, saya gitu kan. Gitu.
Bisa reuni ya Bunda ya.
Alhamdulillah, terima kasih Mbak Yepi. Saya panggilnya Mbak karena
iya
biasa.
Saya manggilnya Bunda gitu ya.
Masih muda, terus juga energik, profesional. Pokoknya.
Thank you. Nanti saya melayang loh Bun.
Terima kasih sekali Mbak Yepi. Dan ini kayaknya kita jadi kangen-kangenan deh.
Kapan ini kangen-kangenan lagi?
Sudah lama nggak pernah ketemu Mbak Yepi juga. Ini kebetulan Bu Yuni, beliaunya ini satu angkatan dengan saya, S3.
NUM, oh I see.
Iya di UMG.
Oke.
Tapi
perjuangan.
Sip gitu. Sudah apa ini pamer ke teman-teman seangkatan S3 gitu. Tanggapannya cukup bagus. Nanti kita bisa foto bersama deh supaya nanti ada kenang-kenangan.
Oke, benar.
Ya itu aja Bu Yuni, monggo dilanjut. Saya tunggu nanti kabar berikutnya Mbak Yepi. Insya Allah barangkali nanti juga bisa hadir kembali di kampus Universitas Nusantara.
Insya Allah.
Ya, insya Allah. Kita agendakan Bun.
Oh iya.
Next semester.
Ya betul. Oke. Monggo Bu Yuni dilanjut.
Yes.
Terima kasih.
Thank you very much, Bu Mumun, for the small talk to Dr. Yepi. Okay, so to sum up, because the time is limited, I remind for all of the participants, please fill in the attendance list. Fill in the attendance list because we are going to close the attendance list at 12 p.m. Make sure that you have filled in the attendance because the certificate will be issued if you fill in the attendance list. Okay, so to sum up for our webinar today, the limitation of the, I give a chance to Dr. Yepi if you want to say something related to, if you want to conclude first or you want to say something related to the end of our question and answer sessions before we close.
Yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, Ma'am Yuni. I just want to say thank you very much for the attention, for the participation from all the participants, and hopefully that what I can share to you will be very meaningful and can give some kind of maybe recommendation or something like that, and hopefully that we can meet again in another occasion and in other material so that we can share together again. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Yepi. To sum up, I want to quote your statement that the progress or technology, the progress of the technology nowadays, it doesn't mean that the teacher replaced by the existence of the technology, but the way how we utilize it in ELT. Okay, the announcement for the link certificate. Okay, so there is a link for you to get the certificate, and then also we still have a webinar series, and I'm sure that it is the next one is it is also interesting topic, and the certificate will value to 32 hours. So please, I welcome all of the teachers, English teachers, and then also the students. Jadi untuk kegiatan berikutnya berupa seminar dan workshop, sertifikatnya 32 jam. Okay. So before we close, we invite all of the participants to activate your video because we are going to have photo sessions. Okay. Photo session first, and then I will close this webinar. Okay. Pak Mahe, do you want to take the photo now? Okay. So the link of the certificate you can download in the Zoom group chat. You can access the link of the certificate over there. Okay, and then if you still have a question, you can also still send us the email or group or in the Zoom group chat. Okay, Bukai, do you want to say something before I close?
Enough, Bu.
Oh, I see. Okay, I will lead all of the participants to take the photo. Okay, 3, 2, 1, cheese. Okay, once more. Okay, 3, 2, 1, cheese. Yes, thank you very much. So it's very nice and fabulous time for us to have this webinar, and I'm sure that all of you can take the advantages from what we have talked about for at least not more than 2 hours today. So please, we still welcome for the teachers, for all of the scholars and participants to participate actively in our next webinar. Thank you very much. I'm Unit Susanti as the moderator today. I apologize if I have some mistake, or if you still have questions, you can still have a chat in our room. Thank you very much for all of your fabulous questions, and then also Dr. Yepi, you are the best for this one.
Thank you.
All of the participants, thank you very much. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Terima kasih Mbak Yepi, Bu Mumun, matur sembah nuwun.
Sama Bunda.
Ade dan semua partisipan, terima kasih semuanya. Ya, see you on next webinar.
See you. Terima kasih Mem Yuni.
Thank you very much, Bu Yepi. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you.
The first time to see you, and it is not the end.
Okay. Yeah, we will meet later, Mem Yuni. Just try to arrange the agenda, okay?
Okay, yes, of course.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. See you.
See you. Bye-bye, everybody.
Welcome Welcome international people. Yuk kita jalan-jalan ke Prodi Bahasa Inggris. Eits, tunggu dulu. Kenapa sih mereka memilih English Department UNP Kediri?
Sudah pasti dengan dosen-dosennya yang berkualitas.
Tentu saja karena fasilitasnya lengkap.
Karena di sini mahasiswa berkesempatan untuk mendapatkan beasiswa.
Kita lagi ada ISR nih. Butuh referensi skripsi. Di sini nih tempatnya. Di sini nih, Lab Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris. Di lab ini, kita melatih skill listening kita. Let's go! Gimana? Menarik bukan prodi kita? For more information, you can find it here. Yuk, join English Department! Welcome international people. Yuk kita jalan-jalan ke Prodi Bahasa Inggris. Eits, tunggu dulu. Kenapa sih mereka memilih English Department UNP Kediri?
Sudah pasti dengan dosen-dosennya yang berkualitas.
Tentu saja karena fasilitasnya lengkap.
Karena di sini mahasiswa berkesempatan untuk mendapatkan beasiswa.
Kita lagi ada ISR nih. Butuh referensi skripsi. Di sini nih tempatnya. Di sini nih, Lab Prodi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris. Di lab ini, kita melatih skill listening kita. Let's go! Gimana? Menarik bukan prodi kita? For more information, you can find it here.
Yuk, join English department.
Welcome international people. Yuk kita jalan-jalan ke prodi bahasa Inggris. Eits, tunggu dulu. Kenapa sih mereka memilih English Department UNP Kediri?
Sudah pasti dengan dosen-dosennya yang berkualitas.
Tentu saja karena fasilitasnya yang lengkap. Karena di sini mahasiswa berkesempatan untuk mendapatkan beasiswa.
Kita lagi ada ISR nih. Butuh referensi skripsi. Di sini nih tempatnya. Di sini nih lab prodi pendidikan bahasa Inggris. Di lab ini kita melatih skill listening kita. Let's go! Gimana? Menarik bukan prodi kita? For more information, you can find it here.
Yuk, join English department.